Now, I reckon there's a lot of y'all that figure you'll run into a leprechaun before you ever run into a black Republican, but I wanted to assure y'all we do exist. Hi, how you doing? And now that you've seen me, please do not email me asking me to grant you 3 wishes. Although, ladies, I am magically delicious. Ow, baby, damn! I would have got the message if you would have thrown one of your little shoes, baby. You didn't have to throw my work boots. Love you. Now, it's often said that there's no black people in the Republican Party, and it's often asked, why would you want to be a Republican? There's no black people in our party. Obviously, they don't want you there. No, obviously, you don't want me there. White Republicans do not tell black people to stay out of the Republican Party. Black people tell black people to stay out of the Republican Party. If you are black and you state that you are a Republican, this is what you can look forward to. What? You a Republican? You a bootlicking Uncle Tom. You's a whitewashed house nigga. Ought to bust your head open, sellout. Now, who wants to be subjected to all that hostility, all those threats and insults and be alienated? Who wants to go through all that? People typically want to be accepted by their own, y'all. They don't want to be hated and exiled. And everybody knows that oftentimes people don't share the same sentiment, but better act like they do if they want to stay within the circle of acceptance. You know as well as I do that a lot of times a person feels the same way as the person they just alienated, but they don't want to step out of line and catch flack from the rest. Y'all, there's a lot of black people out there that want to do certain things, but feel like they can't because they don't want to suffer the consequences of what other black people will say or do to them. You may examine the principles of what it is to be a conservative Republican and say, dang, that makes sense. But I guess you better keep this to yourself because if you don't, you're going to be called a sellout and told that you need your ass whooped. Where is the proof that these things are only for white folks? And if you try to make the case that certain activities and philosophies are exclusive to a particular ethnicity, then you will truly make the case for narrow-mindedness. Now, we like some people to keep it real, right? So don't get mad at me for being real with you. Now, I get people mad at me and complaining that I speak in generalizations. Look here, y'all, I've only got so long to keep your attention. I don't have time to cater to all y'all's individual dispositions. Secondly, the denial is so thick with some of y'all that y'all don't think I'm talking about you, and you're exactly who I'm talking about. I'll give you an example. As much hate mail as I get, I don't respond with bigoted terms against blacks, whites, or anybody in between. Know why? It's simple, because I don't hate anybody, especially my own people. Now, I got black people who hate me because I'm a black man who disagrees with them and live by a different set of principles than they do. You got a sewer line of bigotry pouring out of your mouth against your own persuasion, and you want to call me the self-loather? You're not hating me just because we disagree. You're hating me because I'm black and we disagree. Oh, I'm so sorry, Nessa. I didn't know I wasn't allowed to disagree with you. Now, as much as I love my skin color, none of us get to choose what color we're going to be born in. Son, I'm going to change your skin color. No, thank you. I like being black. I like to go into tanning saloons and sit in the lobby and smile at white people as they go by. Hey, how you doing? Yeah, I know along with the black skin, there's supposed to be an attitude that comes along with it to substantiate your blackness. But we do get to choose how our attitude comes out. And I choose not to let you dictate the attitude I display. It's part of a little thing called freedom. You should try it sometime. And that goes for anybody else of any other persuasion. I know you deal with this kind of crap too. This is America, man. You can behave any way that you want to. Just don't get up in somebody else's business with it. Now, as a conservative Republican, I would like to be one who tells you what it is to be a conservative Republican. Or would you prefer to keep hearing it from the donkey's mouth? And the biggest hee-haw that you're going to get about the Republican Party is going to come from Hollywood. Their objective is to maintain animosity and prejudice against the Republican Party. And prejudice is bad, remember? Now, I don't know if you guys are aware of this or not, but Hollywood is an industry based upon make-believe. And you can best believe they make up stuff about the Republican Party. When you've got Bill Clinton, Hillary Clinton, Al Gore, Madeleine Albright, John Kerry, the governments of France, Germany, and Russia all say that Saddam Hussein has weapons of mass destruction and needs to be disarmed, how are you going to call George Bush a liar concerning weapons of mass destruction when the case was already made in the first place by your darling liberal officials? George Bush has not been pulling smoke and mirrors on you. He's too stupid to fool you anyway, remember? It's Hollywood that has been pulling smoke and mirrors on you. They're the one who's got smoke and mirrors anyway. They're the industry of it. Despite having consistently cold weather, you've allowed Al Gore and Hollywood to convince you that there's global warming. And they know that you're starting to question it. Yo, man, if we got global warming, why is it so cold? That's why they don't call it global warming anymore. They call it climate change. Yes, since they're being proven wrong about global warming, they're now trying to call it climate change. You know what these liberals are like, man? It's like when we were kids and we would play good guy, bad guy games, and like your friend would get shot, but your friend is really spoiled and he doesn't want to be out and say, no, because my body is made of super alloy by titanium chrome, so I'm not out yet. Now check this out. You see all that green? Take a look at all that green and keep in mind that that is a low desert area of Southern California. That's a lot of trees, ain't it? I had to come up here to get the shot because there were too many trees in my way to get the shot from down there. You know why there's so many trees? Because America does a really good job of planting and replanting trees. Ooh, and look it up there. Is that snow I see up on the mountains in the low desert area of Southern California? Sometimes it's a little more snow, sometimes it's a little less, sometimes it's a little warmer, sometimes it's a little cooler. The climate changes from year to year. It shifts from area to area, just as it always has. Alright, here's an idea. Why don't you help us fight a real global threat? Islamofascist terrorism. Oh yeah, and unlike Al Gore, I didn't call on Hollywood to put their smoke and mirror tactics on this footage. This is au natural. I guess what I'm trying to say is, I don't know about y'all, but I don't let Hollywood put things into perspective for me. Remember y'all, Hollywood is in the business of make-believe. Hollywood is in the business of sensationalism. Y'all, in order for Hollywood to be effective, they have to have a boogeyman. Whether the boogeyman be global warming, the government, or the corporations. Or they make sure to tug on your heartstrings because your heartstrings are attached to your wallet. They show you a picture of a skinny polar bear and now you're totally convinced that we have global warming. Oh my God, we've got to feed that poor polar bear some tofu. Hey, speaking of which, I think soy milk is fantastic. You can't make Jello pudding mix with it though, and that sucks. Uh-oh, I can hear the haters now. Yeah, I figured you would be on the Cosby tip, you Jello-eating junkyard Cosby kid. Look at selling. Y'all, Hollywood knows that the best way for them to make money and to push this country towards socialism is to keep us paranoid, bitter, and divided. The key word here though is business, and the objective of a business is to make money. I can hear people now saying, see, that's capitalism. Y'all, it doesn't matter if it's capitalism, socialism, or communism. They're all designed where the worker makes money. The difference is, in capitalism, the business and the worker decide what they're going to do with the money they earned. In socialism and communism, the government decides what to do with the money you earned. And that's what Hollywood is trying to push you towards. These Hollywood liberals are the masters of making sure that you feel real stupid if you don't agree with them. Despite all that tolerance and acceptance that Hollywood preaches, if you got a different opinion from those who are on the set, you better keep your mouth shut. Y'all, there's a lot of people who want to get into the entertainment industry who aren't liberal, but have to act the part if they want to get their foot in the door. Another thing that Hollywood has to be effective at is maintaining the tension between the ethnicities, especially between blacks and whites. Y'all, there's money in racial tension. You think Hollywood really wants to see the racial issue fixed? We all know that liberal Hollywood is a bunch of racists. Come on now. We've got BET because Hollywood is racist. The funny thing is that BET was created because Hollywood is racist, yet they vote for the same issue that Hollywood does. They all vote Democrat. And because of years of their influence, we've got more teenage pregnancies. Ooh, but what about Sarah Palin's daughter? She's a pregnant teenager. Well, what about Obama's mama? She was a pregnant teenager. And there's a whole lot of teen pregnancy going on in LA County alone, and LA County is run by Democrats, so stay focused. We know that Hollywood promotes a lot of sexuality and markets a lot of it to teenagers, and sex, incidentally, is how people get pregnant. Liberal Hollywood is a major contributor to why our fuel prices have been so high. They have been a big voice to make sure that we stay dependent on foreign oil. Because if you even think about drilling on American soil, you are a low-life, scum-sucking, environment-destroying scum-sucker. Look here, y'all, I'm trying not to say too much, and a lot of people have been wondering how come I haven't done any videos lately. It's because I'm trying to write a book, and I'm saving my perspectives and stuff for that. The book, of course, will be a work of literature that will outline Hey, the book is just my contribution to help promote who we are, as opposed to other people telling people who we are. And I ain't the only one, baby. There's a wave of us coming. From the Christians to the conservatives, from the Christian conservatives, there is an uprising. Hollywood's got many of you under a spell, and there is a new entertainment industry that's coming to break it. Before I split y'all, I really want to thank y'all who have been so supportive and all the nice comments that you guys leave. I'm sorry if I'm not doing too good of a job of getting back to y'all. I mean, I get blessed with a lot of emails, so it's kind of hard for me to keep up, but I do read most of them, and I really, really appreciate it. Thank you for those of you who have been donating to Macho Sauce Productions. Thank you so much. Now, I know that money is tight out there, and a lot of y'all want to donate, but feel like, man, I ain't got that much money. All I got is $1, and I don't want to insult them by giving them $1. Let me tell you something. I will not be insulted if you give me $1. I'll take a food stamp and PayPal to process it. And I've been blessed with a lot of viewers, y'all. And don't you go thinking, yeah, you know what? He does have a lot of viewers. I'm sure somebody will give him $1. Somebody else will do it. That's liberal talk. Now, just as no donation is too small, don't you go thinking that a donation can be too large either. Awesome. Honey, that macho sauce is incredible. I'm going to donate $1,000. $1,000? Honey, don't you think that's a bit much? No, it isn't.